years, the commitment of this community to its parks, and the celebration of Expo 74. It's already been mentioned, but if you haven't gone on the new connection across the suspension bridge in Riverfront Park, please do that. The Post Street Bridge is awesome, and the Great Gorge Trail Loop is now completed, and take that trip as well on both sides of the river, under the Monroe Street Bridge on both sides. It's really something that sets our city apart. Now, at the same time, before I get to some of the challenges, I just want to say there are a few things going on that may be difficult to see, but I just really want to highlight them. The partnership and cooperation between the City of Spokane and Downtown Spokane Partnership is very, very strong. We are in constant communication and across a wide level of leadership in the city. I really appreciate Emily and the board and the working relationship that we have and the initiatives that we have underway. Just to highlight a few of the things on the city side, you already heard in the video from Captain Wall, but I want to acknowledge both him and Chief Lundgren in terms, and our code enforcement leader, Luis Garcia, coming together, creating another hot team of clean and safe, partnered with law enforcement to work with Downtown Spokane Partnership's clean team. Cooperation between parks, thank you Garrett, Jason, and again Chief Lundgren, working together for a limited commission for park officers to help improve the ability to respond to incidents in Riverfront Park. The City Council has been a great partner and recently approved additional resources championed by Councilmember Bingle to expand our clean and safe work for the rest of the year using those federal recovery dollars. The cooperation between the administration and City Council is also very positive for our city, and we are taking on the challenges together. The council unanimously approved my emergency order on the opioid fentanyl crisis. And what that emergency order allows us to do is to tap in more quickly and move more quickly, because government processes don't typically move very fast, to first of all, contract with Empire Health Foundation, operating our Cannon Street facility as a transition center for people we are relocating from the Division Street corridor through the right-of-way encampment resolution program with funding from the state. We've signed a contract with Consistent Care, utilizing opioid settlement dollars for the High Utilizer Initiative. These are the people who cycle between the streets and the emergency room, or the streets and our jail, and disrupting that cycle and concentrating on those individuals to bring them off of the cycle and the streets. The expansion of our partnership with nonprofit providers, and in particular Spokane Treatment and Recovery Services, to utilize their Car 50 program and provide transport for people under the influence of substance to an appropriate medical or treatment facility. And finally, working with state and federal partners to disrupt the drug market and those preying on the streets of Spokane, our most vulnerable individuals. I want to give a special shout out to Council President Wilkerson and the City Council members that are here, because we are also working together to take on improved fiscal stability for our city. 1 year ago at this time, the city at its mid-year budget review was $9 million over its budget. Yesterday we met together and pleased to announce that we are $500,000 under the budget passed. That means that we can better take on the structural deficit that we face, and we are doing that in partnership with each other. Thank you, City Council. In addition to that partnership, I'm excited about what Emily mentioned is a key initiative we can work on together, and that is housing and housing downtown. Some of the groundwork was already laid last year by the administration and city council when they passed zoning that really allows us to move forward in a very rapid way with fewer obstacles for housing development. As I said in my state of the city, we have headwinds of inflation and interest rates and high vacancy rates in our offices downtown, but we also have opportunities. The incentives passed by the legislature, both to convert surface parking lots to housing and to convert office building to housing, are very good opportunities for us. I'm introducing this week the resolution for City Council to help move that process forward with the bill that Emily mentioned, and Senator Billig is already working with the state to get the rules in place so that we can get those incentives activated. And we have developers who've already come to talk with Steve and Spencer and Tammy and the team, and they're ready to go with new housing downtown. So by this time next year, I hope to be able to state some really exciting news about the number of units that we'll have underway to get to that 1,000 unit downtown housing moonshot that Chris Batten and others have talked about. Let's give a hand to everybody who's working hard in the face of those headwinds to create more housing downtown. Finally, events and activation. We are great partners on that. There's so much to talk about there, whether it's Juneteenth activities, the community stage at Riverfront Park, my son is playing there, whether it's Hoop Fest, which is coming back better than ever. The sister cities are all coming together in a Expo 74 celebration that will be very exciting next weekend. And one of my personal favorites, professional soccer velocity, and August 17th, women's soccer in Spokane as Zephyr has their opening match. So plenty of challenges, but the good news is partnership and working together to take them on, and we're taking them on in an all-of-the-above approach. And I just want to close with a special thank you to the members of my team that are here today. And we are in the process of selecting a new police chief for Spokane, and you will hear about the finalists in the next week or so. And so could we take this opportunity to thank Chief Justin Lundberg for his amazing work stepping in the first 6 months of my administration, taking on these challenges. Thank you. Spokane is a fantastic city. I knew it when I first came here, and I've never looked back. And we know that whether you're coming from, whether you grew up here multiple generations, whether your ancestors lived here and gathered by the river, whether you are a new immigrant from Ukraine, or whether you are someone like me who stumbled here because of a boyfriend and never left. Spokane is a great place. As the city council has decreed in Spokane, we all belong, and better starts here. Thank you.
We're in the Parkade Plaza. It's a perfectly round building, and as a result, seemed like a great spot for a record store. Entropy is a record and vintage store on the main floor, and upstairs is an art gallery. We're really trying to just have a curated experience with like the best classic records that we can find. As far as our gallery goes, it's purely artist-driven and purely for the artists. Whatever they sell in our gallery, they get to keep 100% of the funds. Working in the downtown area, we've met like lots of great people that come in, and just developing those relationships with people who are living and working downtown has been really great.
I love that record store. Thank you, Mayor Brown. You know, there are so many new businesses and projects that we need to explore in downtown. I need to explore. I just kind of stumbled into that one the other day, but very, very cool. It's inspiring to see the impact that they have, the contributions to building a stronger downtown neighborhood. Every day, I know one recent project in particular that's transforming how people live in downtown. So please welcome to the stage right now Ashley Blake, CEO of Spokane Sports, Stephanie Curran, CEO of Spokane Public Facilities District, to the stage. Last year, Ashley and Stephanie accepted the Downtown Spokane Partnership's Impact Award for the Podium, a true example that if you build it, they will come. The podium, it's really cool. Just I took my kids to that Ice Age park, and then suddenly you see like the badminton team from Switzerland walk by, and you're like, what are you guys doing? This is fun. So yeah, the podium has welcomed national, international competitions, future champions, concerts, community events. The calendar looks like we can expect a whole lot more from the podium. So please give a warm welcome right now to Ashley Blake and Stephanie Curran to present 2024 Impact Award.
As you've heard a lot this morning, it takes great vision to see the potential in what does not yet exist. Simply put, before you can have a legacy, you must make an impact. Recipients of the Impact Award have revolutionized our downtown and have brought innovation to life through unique partnerships and projects, often providing solutions we didn't realize we needed.
This year, we are excited to pass on the honor of the Impact Award to The Warren. The Warren is an exciting new housing project at Brown and Riverside in downtown Spokane, offering modern living space that blends contemporary design with urban convenience. Located in the heart of the city, The Warren provides residents with easy access to local amenities, vibrant cultural attractions, and a thriving business district. Pretty incredible to think that prior this was the site of a small drive-through bank. The pandemic changed the trajectory of downtown, highlighting the need for more new housing in our downtown core. Fortunately, The Warren was already under development. More than just 139 new places to call home, The Warren has added a type of housing that is contributing to the revitalization of downtown Spokane.
Having residents downtown and more people is critical. New buildings is really somebody that's saying, hey, I'm coming to this market, I'm willing to build a brand new building. That's key.
The Warren is located in downtown. We're on Brown and Riverside, and honestly, it's a great place to live. So we have 139 units. We try to keep it very community-based, trying to keep that urban aspect as well, too.
This corner is an important one. This is an entryway into the UD and from the UD into downtown.
I've seen graduate students, I've seen business personnel, I've seen just the wide variety of people. This kind of fosters that ability to be able to go walk to all these different shops.
I thank and congratulate the Edlin Group for bringing the Warren to Spokane, and we look forward to working with the Edlin Group and other developers for projects like this in other parts of downtown.
So we're excited to welcome Matt Edlin with Edlin Co. to the stage to accept the 2024 Downtown Spokane Partnership Impact Award. Congratulations.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. Which one? Do I say something?
Corey?
Sure. I can't. I didn't plan for that, so but that's okay. Because it's pretty easy to talk about Spokane after all of this. I know a good chunk of these folks. Mayor Brown, I did meet your son yesterday. He was down in his studio. He was picking away with Sheldon and I were walking down there. It was very cool to meet him. Many of you don't probably recognize me at all. I'm not from here. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and our company, Edlin & Company, formerly Girding Edlin, we've had the privilege of building in cities across the country. Cities big, cities small. Cities like Boston and Chicago. Cities like Boise and Bend. And the through line with all of these investments and projects that we've made is really communities that we feel very deeply connected to, communities that inspire us, communities that are vibrant and committed. And when we came to Spokane, I mean, it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming walking the streets and getting to know folks who were unafraid to say, let's go further. Let's work together. I've never met a city that is this collaborative, that looks each other in the eye and says, why not? It is truly remarkable. Even from the time when we sat down and started to concept out this project, which most folks in my world, when you're sitting down with the city and going through design review processes and all these things, the first thing you're like, oh God, what are we gonna get today? But we didn't get that at all. In fact, it was a process where every single person on the team, we all got on the phone afterwards, we were like, holy, I think the project just got better. Like, the most divisive conversation we had was making sure that the native street trees were of a certain variety and a certain size. And we're like, wow, that's not what you get. And then going through the process of working with the city, working with planners, working with the university district, working in collaboration, the project just got better and better and better, and bringing on partners like our friends at the Wood Shop who do incredible branding work, working with the folks over at Terrain in working with our art program. It was so evident that you walk in the room, you don't know me from Adam, and I want to say, hey, let's try something new. And the first response isn't, why? Or who are you? Or sorry, I'm good. The first thing is, heck yeah, let's roll our sleeves up and figure it out. That's what the city does. And as we talk about the promise and the growth and all the opportunities of where it can go, that's the kind of spirit that makes folks like us want to be here, not just to do a project, but to really deeply ingratiate ourselves in the roots of the city. So I just want to say thank you. This is truly humbling on behalf of my partners, our firm, and all of the teams of folks working on the project, working from the city, working from the community to make it what it is. So thank you very much.
Our downtown is so beautiful. There's a ton of history here. We have remarkable architecture and art installations. There's a lot to talk about in a very small amount of space. That pretty much puts Spokane on the map. I'm just happy to be a cheerleader for how amazing Spokane is.
I'm getting so excited when there's something that you don't know.
Locals specifically will be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. That makes me so happy. It's almost like watching someone fall in love with their city for the first time. We want you to fall in love with Spokane, experience Spokane, and be here.
Wow, Matt, for an impromptu speech, I'm ready to run through a wall right now. Kurt Russell is Herb Brooks, and then Matt Edlin accepting the Warren Award. Those are your great speeches there. Just a reminder, too, there's a $250 gift card to River Park Square up for grabs if you take a picture of social media, use the hashtag Spokane is downtown, and then tag downtown Spokane as well. I don't think I'm eligible, but maybe I'll start posting some. I don't know, because I didn't see any, so get to it, people. All right, so there are a lot of good things to do and see in downtown Spokane. How do we keep that list growing? Well, I have a feeling our keynote speaker this morning is going to have a few ideas. Carol Ross Barney has left an indelible mark on cities across the country in her profession and her passion, urban design. As a vanguard of civic space design since founding Chicago-based Ross Barney Architects in 1981, Carol has designed spaces that manifest into spaces that enrich the urban experience, buildings that are environmental stewards, and spaces that inspire young, curious minds to innovate and invent. And Carol designed spaces that simply make people feel good. Her motto, design is everything, and everything can be better. So those are words to live by when thinking about urban revitalization. The recipient of the American Institute of Architects' highest honor, the gold medal in 2023, and just back from Washington, D.C., where she keynoted the AIA National Conference. Carol has made it here today to Spokane to inspire us to blaze new trails as we consider the future of Spokane. I had an opportunity to chat with her before the program. I'm very excited to hear her speak. So, ladies and gentlemen, Carol Ross Barney.
Thanks, Corey. And thank you for inviting me to your beautiful city. I've been to Spokane a few times before. It's been over decades, though. And the little film this morning that showed the rail yards before the fair was built is just amazing. Those people had so much vision. Can you imagine how crazy people thought they were, inviting everybody to Eastern Washington, the whole world? And in the end, it didn't really matter if those people came and remembered Spokane. The real legacy is what they left for the city. And I think that's really important because cities are our future. This is my city. In fact, this is Chicago on the cover of National Geographic. It's July 2013, the Windy City, the city of big shoulders, birthplace of modern architecture. And another nickname Chicago had, especially in 1900, was the city of the century. And this photograph was taken by one of the greatest film directors of all time, Stanley Kubrick. He started as a staff photographer for Look magazine. And they sent him to Chicago, where he had the job of documenting Chicago, the glamour and the grit. It was called the City of Extremes. At that point, Chicago's population was 3.6 million. It was the largest the city would ever be. That same year, about 29% of the world's population lived in cities. 50 years earlier, Chicago had passed about 2 million in population, and only 14% of people lived in cities across the world. And this is really interesting. It sort of shows how the country's changed, how the world's changed. Chicago at that point was the 5th largest city in the world. The only cities that were bigger were London, New York, Paris, and Berlin. Even more amazing, Chicago 60 years before that, in 1840, had less than 5,000 people. And I'm not telling you this because Chicago is such a great city, although it is my home and I love it, I think it's beautiful. But